Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
All right, hello, sports fans. Welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Glad you could join us. Before we continue, you know the routine. Get to our website, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We have the best links to the top European, Asian, and United States-friendly bookmaker sites. We got our Bookmaker 101 Basics. Our Bookmaker Guide is available to download. We have steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. And also on our website, scroll down a bit, you will find the link to the Mr. Bookmaker football blog, soccer in parentheses, depending on where you are. That is my personal blog, giving you information about international football, and of course, helpful information so you can take your love of sports to the next level. Now, to get things started, our A to Z sports betting lingo, what is the word of the day? That is angles. Okay, I'm not talking geometry here, but for angles, this means using key factors or insights from previous events to predict the results of future events. Sounds a little tricky, but hey, I'm here to help you. Don't forget, word of the day, angles. Now to get things started off here, the first website I have stumbled on is topbet.com. So you can basically type in www.topbet.com or even topbet.eu. This is a United States friendly bookmaker site, and I'm in the mood to see what's going on in the world of hockey, or just make it simple, the National Hockey League. The 2017-2018 season just started, and of course, I'm interested in knowing which teams have the best odds to go all the way and lift Lord Stanley's Cup. The favorites here, and I'm not surprised, you got the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Edmonton Oilers. For both of them, the payout shows plus 900. So that means if you were to put a $100 wager on the Penguins or the Oilers right now, and one of them ends up winning, the payout would be $900. So get to topbet.com. What about the other teams who have favorable odds? You got the Washington Capitals at positive 1,200. Tampa Bay Lightning as well, positive 1,200. And going back on the Capitals, I'll be quick to tell you, you know what? I advise you not to put a wager on the Capitals. Just saying, because if you study your angles, you'll probably be able to realize that the Capitals probably won't go all the way. Then you got the Chicago Blackhawks, actually positive 1,000. The Anaheim Ducks, positive 1,400. But look, if you want some good advice regarding hockey, I say go with the Los Angeles Kings. The payout here is positive 1,800. The Kings have missed the playoffs, unfortunately, recently, but I feel like this will be the season where they get back to the playoffs and cause a lot of damage and frustrate the other teams the way they knew how to frustrate teams during the 2012 and 2014 Stanley Cup playoffs. So like I said, that is topbet.com. And before we continue, make sure you check out our website. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. On our website, you have easy access to the Bookmaker 101 Basics. That includes steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. Our Bookmaker Guide is available to download. Read through it at least 2 or 3 times. Remember, I want you to become an expert on this whole entire online sports betting process. And remember, we have betting strategies, tips. Don't forget about our A to Z sports betting lingo. Remember, you may not sound like an expert just yet, but keep on listening to the Bookmaker Podcast. Check out our website, and you'll be good to go. And with that, we're taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Guga Gunnarsdottir of the Women's National Football Team of Iceland, and you're listening to the Bookmaker Podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Bookmaker Podcast. For those of you football or soccer fans all over the world, I'm sure you paid attention to the exciting World Cup qualifiers that took place over the weekend. And as for the voice of the lady you just heard, her name is Guga Gunnarsdottir. She is the starting keeper for the Women's National Football Team of Iceland. And on my blog, I made sure to point out the football revolution in Iceland, a country that many years ago was hardly known in the world of football, and they have just booked their ticket to the 2018 World Cup in Russia. And they'll be making their first appearance, of course, in a World Cup. So congratulations to the national team of Iceland for qualifying to the World Cup, and a special thank you to Guga for taking the time to answer my questions about the progress of football in Iceland. Okay, everybody, you know it still is football season. Of course, I'm talking about the National Football League season, and I'm sure you can guess that I am on BetOnline.ag. Yes, let's get right to it. Week 6 of the National Football League. And like I said the other week, when you're on betonline.ag, you could really have a lot of fun with the prop bets. So first, I'm starting with the season prop bets. And what can I say? This involves the 3 teams that have yet to win a game during this season. You got the San Francisco 49ers, the Cleveland Browns, and the New York Giants. Taking a look here on betonline.ag, one of the props here is it possible for one of these 3 teams to go 0-16? So first, let's start off with the Cleveland Browns. Here on BetOnline, if you choose yes, that they will go 0-16, the payout here shows positive 800. If you choose no, payout here shows negative 1,500. As for the Cleveland Browns, who will they be taking on this weekend? Well, they'll be on the road against the Houston Texans. Texans are 2-3. The Texans have been looking good with rookie quarterback Deshaun Watson. What does the money line here show? Positive 355 for the Browns, negative 425 for the Texans. Texans are favored by 10 points. Over-under is set at 46.5. You know what? I'm going to have to say that I think for any of those Browns fans listening, you're going to have to wait a little longer for that first win to come. Next, what about my San Francisco 49ers? Well, if you choose to place a wager that yes, they will go 0-16, payout here shows positive 1,200. If you choose to say no to the offer, it'll be a negative 2,500 payout. So who will the 49ers be playing on Sunday? Well, they will be on the road against the Washington Redskins. The Redskins are favored by 10 points. The payout here for the money line shows positive 405 for the Niners, negative 500 for the Washington Redskins, over-under set at 46.5. Now, of course, me being a Niner fan, what's going to be my prediction? Hate to say it, I know the Niners have been competitive, but I think they're going to have to wait a little longer for their first win. But I hope they surprise me. And what about the New York Giants? If you choose yes on them going 0-16, payout here shows positive 950. If you choose no, payout here will show negative 1,800. So who are the Giants going to play this weekend? Well, you New York Giants fans, and I'm not saying this because the Giants have had a history of breaking my heart as a Niners fan, but the Giants will be on the road against the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos are 11.5 point favorites. The money line here shows positive 445 for the Giants, negative 550 for the Broncos, over-under set at 38.5. So yes, Giants fans, you're going to have to wait for your first win. And also, Odell Beckham Jr. out for the season. Ouch. It just keeps getting worse. The New England Patriots will be on the road against the Jets. Patriots will be 9.5 point favorites. Moneyline here shows negative 450 for the Patriots, positive 375 for the Jets, over-under set at 47.5. Dolphins will be on the road against the Falcons. Falcons are 11.5 point favorites. As for the money line, positive 495 for the Dolphins, negative 620 for the Falcons, over-under set at 47. The Detroit Lions on the road against the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 4.5 points. Money line not available just yet, but the over-under is set at 50. Get to betonline.ag, and you can. The Packers at the Vikings, a classic NFL rivalry there. Packers favored by 3 on the road. Moneyline shows negative 168 for the Packers, positive 148 for the Vikings, over-under set at 46.5. The Bears will be on the road against the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are favored by 6.5 points. As for the money line, positive 235 for the Bears, negative 280 for the Ravens. The Los Angeles Rams will be on the road against the Jaguars. Jaguars favored by 2.5, but that's a tough one to choose. As for the money line, positive 120 for the Rams, negative 140 for the Jaguars. But I say go with the LA Rams. Todd Gurley is really having a great season, and quarterback Jared Goff has really benefited from the help of new head coach Sean McVay. The Buccaneers will be on the road against the Cardinals. Buccaneers favored by 1.5. As for the money line, negative 125 for the Bucs. Positive 105 for the Cardinals, over-under set at 45. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs favored by 5. Not surprised here, the Chiefs having an excellent season. Running back Kareem Hunt continues to do what he's doing. The Chiefs are 5-0. The money line here shows positive 195 for the Steelers, negative 225 for the Chiefs. As for the over-under, set at 45.5. And also, when you're on betonline.ag, have some more fun also with the player props. Some of the possibilities, let's say depending on which game it is you'll be looking at. You can put a wager on who you think will score the first touchdown of the game. You could even wager on who will score a touchdown at any time in the game, as well as total number of interceptions thrown by either quarterback, total pass completions, total passing yards. Like I said, you can have a lot of fun with this, so get to betonline.ag. That's www.betonline.ag. All right, everybody, and that is it for this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Make sure you check out our website. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. Remember, I want you to take your love of sports to the next level, and I also want you to check out my blog when you get the chance, for those of you football or soccer fans, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for listening, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker, over and out.